Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. Oh, he's back. He's in. He's in. Okay,
well, good. Hi,
that is
John.
good. Let me just put my phone on airplane mode so we don't get into any interference. I'm gonna move Lena over. Sorry, Lena
Yes,
has
please.
to be in the bottom corner. So, fantastic. All right, Sulabh, you made it. Did you have a little technical issue or something? Because I just emailed you. But were you okay?
Yes, Windows always updates at the
got
worst
sound
possible
for you.
time. So I'm so sorry, guys.
No problem, no problem. All right, so I'll start.
You might need to turn your mic up a bit, Sulabh.
Yeah, if you turn your mic up a bit. So I'll do the intro again. No problem. Live TV, folks. This is how it's like. Anyway, so of course, welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology, and oh my God, and it is eclipse day today as well. Literally, the eclipse has just happened. I was not expecting. I'd actually forgotten that it was the eclipse day, because they say you're not supposed to be in eclipses, and I was like, oh, it's getting dark. What's going on? And I was like, oh shit, I'm in the eclipse. I'm like, why are so many people in the park? And then everyone's like, woo! You know, people were out with their sieves. You know, people were trying to see the cast the shadows by the sieves and all that stuff. But of course, to my side here, we have Sheila, of course, with her adorable doggy called Panda. So Sulabh, just so you know, that is Panda who has joined us. We have Lena down under, who of course and of course Sulabh is down under as well. I understand you guys were winter there, but you know, Lena's looking very chic and a lovely kind of roll top neck thing. And then here, or maybe here, we have Sulabh Jain. So welcome, Sulabh. This is Sulabh's first time on the Wednesday show. We've done a couple collaborations together where he's been on my channel, I've been on his channel. He is a palm reader. Actually, Sulabh,
oh, so am I.
To read. Sulabh, I'll have to get you to read my palm.
Well, I don't have a lifeline on my major hand, so that got me into palm reading, is because I couldn't figure out why everybody else got a lifeline, but I didn't.
Interesting.
I'd be happy to look at your hands later on, guys, for sure.
Perfect. So Sulabh is from Chariot Palmistry. Many of you have watched my channel, actually already familiar with Sulabh, and his channel is doing very, very well. So he does palmistry, and he also does Vedic astrology like myself, making global predictions on economy and all of these kind of things. But he happens to read palms. Sulabh, I just wanted to say to you, many people may not be familiar with this, but you know the palm leaves? You know the nadi palm leaves? Have you guys heard of this? All right. So guys, this is a form of Indian divination that many people don't know. Once upon a time, the rishis, the Maharishis, the super enlightened folk, they wrote down the fate and destiny of many people on earth long before they were born. They wrote these destinies on palm leaves once upon a time. Way back in the day, we're talking hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. They rolled up that palm leaf and put it in storage for that person in the future to then find out part of what their destiny is. And the way that they identify your palm leaf is via your thumbprints. For men, it's the right hand. For women, it's the left hand. And you do all these thumbprints, and then you join this waiting list, which is what I did the other day. And then they say, oh, it will take 3 to 6 months, and then you'll move on to another list. And I've just moved onto the list where they're actively searching now for my palm leaf. So they're going to join up my palm leaf with my thumbprint and then read what my whole life is about.
Apparently he goes country. Did you hear that?
So I am intrigued, and they say
fascinating.
Feel being called. So Sulabh, you know, this is also your neck of the woods. Do you want to add something there on palm leaves before we dive into the show? What's your spin?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's really only 108 different types of destinies that people can have. There are 9 planets, 12 zodiac signs. If you multiply that together, it's 108. You know, like when you look at people's faces, you'll see the same face repeating throughout thousands of millions of different people. There's only 108 different faces. Similarly, there's about 108 different combinations of lines on the palms as well. And this is what the Nadi palm leads are really looking at. They look at the main lines on your thumb, pick out which of these 108 destinies you've got, and from that, they go into so much detail. They can actually tell you what your name is, what your mother's name was, your children's, what their destiny is going to be.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. There we are. So let's see what happens on tonight's show, folks. Sulabh is very zen, but he can also read tarot as well. So I hope you got your tarot cards. Let's dive into the first question. Normally I have them all numbered out. Here are the questions, but they're all so interesting. So it will be a little bit of freestyling after this. We got questions basically around Count Binface, who we need to talk about. Lena, I'm sure will love this. US Abraham Lincoln, sadly, sailors apparently jumping from the ships. We've got questions on the White House. Bashar Al-Assad, we need to talk about that. And will Trump ever face accountability and all that jazz? All right, so question number 1, and the way we do it, Sulabh, we're all going to pull one card. We go clockwise. And then after that, the next person then pulls. So it will be starting with Lena, then it will be then it will be you, Sulabh, then it will be Lena, then I'll read my card. Then it will start with you, Sulabh, then Lena, etc., so on and so forth. What's the first question? So this is coming from Nick Minks, and she says, Count Binface's moment of glory could happen tomorrow.
Yes.
Does today's eclipse help him to achieve victory over flip-flopping Farage? Right. So I just need to check in. Sheila and Sulabh, are you familiar with Count Binface?
No.
Not
All right,
at all.
You go.
Cold read for me.
I'll give you a little bit in. Okay, Nigel Farage, who was the main architect of Brexit in the UK. He's a douchebag, yeah, for entertainment purposes only. He received a £5 million £5 million donation gift from a British crypto billionaire who now lives in Thailand. Anyway, it's been a scandal. What he did was he is the MP for a constituency called Clacton-on-Sea, which is one of the poorest areas in the UK, but has a little bit of a posh part. Deprived, very Brexit voting. He's the MP for that. He resigned to stop an investigation into him to prevent his career being ended. So he called what is called in the UK a by-election. So he says, the establishment are trying to get rid of me. I'm calling this by-election so the people of Clacton can exonerate me. He thought mistakenly that by resigning and calling a by-election, it would stop this investigation into him. It has not. It has paused. The other parties have called bullshit on this, and none of them stood a candidate in this by-election, except he is opposed now Count Binface, who is a joke candidate, who is even more of a better politician than Nigel Farage. So let me just share this.
And he wears this sort of spacesuit with what Americans would call a trash can on his head.
It's all coming back to me. I think I remember now.
Yeah. And he's doing very well. I think the election's tomorrow, Hobie.
It is tomorrow. So I did a video on this and I said, could it be the case that Count Binface, the eclipse, could cause such a stir? Can you guys see the screen?
There's Binface.
This is Count Binface here. So this is him. Yeah, this is him. He is an absolute character, and apparently he's polling at 20% in the polls, and he comes up with some of his policies. If I just do stop share, he wants He wants the 99p ice cream flake to be 99p. He wants to move the toilet. It's all these things. Anyway, let's read on him. Could the eclipse make him the winner tomorrow? Yeah.
Okay.
One card pull. So we're going to shuffle from our tarot, pick one card, and then we'll read all the cards together. Oh, how interesting.
All right, let's see what he's going to do.
Out.
They're saying it's hard to see me? Somebody said it's hard to see Sheila.
Oh,
Really?
Okay. It looks normal from where I'm looking.
I'm here.
Maybe
they're used to me being down there.
Yeah, could be.
I think it's that. Count bin face. I'm imagining you have your tarot with you as well, Sulabh, yeah?
Yep.
All right. So one card
ready.
Can Count bin face do it? Sheila going first.
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll reveal after 3. You ready, Sulabh? We reveal after 3. All right, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Sheila going first. Oh,
maybe not. I got the 4 of Swords. So, let's see if there's anything. Rest, well-earned break, kind of deal with it tomorrow. He may not. He may. Well, maybe he's just low and he gets enough, but he just doesn't kind of make it there.
Yeah, he's not expected to win, but you never know.
He's made his point.
Yeah.
Indeed. Thank you. Sulabh, how do you interpret your card?
The 7 of Wands, I would interpret as a Pyrrhic victory. He wins without winning the election.
Oh, interesting.
He makes his point, as Sheila correctly said. And even energetically, I look at Nigel Farage as being the olden day outsider candidate. Binface is the outsider to the outsider. In that sense, he's turned the whole thing 180 degrees. He's made his point, and he may not necessarily win this election. He'll inspire the next guy to win the next election.
Oh, excellent. Okay, Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I get the Chariot. I'm sure, because Count Binface isn't young, right? He must be exhausted. So I'm thinking he's moving on, having done the theatrical, and it will sort of give him a bit of fame kicking on his comedy career and stuff like that after it. Hopefully he'll still do interviews. But that's what I've got moving on. I'm not necessarily a win.
Right. Fantastic. And here you see here, sorry guys, I have a bit of reflection. Well, one person was like, how are the cards reflecting? So if we see here, we got the 4 of Pentacles here. So this says to me, okay, Farage bag probably holds on, but maybe only just. It may run a lot closer than he would be comfortable with. But I think also as well, just like Sulabh was saying, really, and what everyone is saying, Count Binface has won already, because Nigel Farage has been so disgraced and shamed and embarrassed that he has no credibility left.
Exactly. He has destroyed Farage.
He really has destroyed Farage. And let me tell you, if Count Binface gets close to 20% or more of the vote, then Farage is completely finished. And it could be that he may end up with a less of a majority than he had at the start. And he's saying, oh, Count Binface is establishment. Everyone's like, the guy is wearing a bin on his head. How is this guy the establishment? He's a comedian, for heaven's sake. So I think Farage just holds on. But this can also be like, I think he is barely holding on to his career and his credibility. I would love it to be the case that the eclipses would bring us that shock. I've said to people already, I am too invested in this. I can't be objective about it. I take all of your cards together and I would say Farage wins, but only just, but it's a Pyrrhic victory, as Sulabh says. He wins, but really he's already lost, and Count Binface has triumphed. So bring on Count Binface. All right.
Well, can you imagine you lost to a trash can? Or,
or even if you won.
Yeah,
oh, you beat the trash can.
You beat
That's
the
awesome.
trash can. Yeah. Can you imagine?
I mean, like, Farage cannot win. He's already lost.
No,
Because
it doesn't matter what the count
up
is.
Against the trash can. I mean, there's 30 other people that have joined in, but it doesn't matter. Let's just see here.
What was the question about the troops?
Yes, let's look at that. I've got that for a little bit later on. I'm just going to let people join in, and then NASCAR is saying hysterical. Oops, and then but MST said, but he's an alien trash can. Yeah, from Sigma 9 apparently. So, you know, it's one of these things. I hope he wins. I really want him to win. I'm going to say extra prayers tonight. Okay, let's go on to question number 2. So one card pull again. This time it will be Sulabh going first, and we're going to read on Bill Gates. All right. So Florak, I think that's a new question, shall we say? So thank you, Florak, for your question. What will be the outcome of Bill Gates' trial, and will others who are connected to the big scene be implicated as well? Could this be the start of things unraveling with the underbellies of society? Now, I checked out this story, and it doesn't seem to be a trial as such. It seems to be that he's given some private evidence or given private testimony to the Congress Select Committee or something like that.
The oversight committee. I'll help you.
Oversight, isn't it? That's it. So let me just give us a bit of context. What have I done with? Oh gosh, typical. I went and I think when I was doing my bin face search, I think I was looking at Bill Gates before that, and then anyway, Bill Gates. I put here Bill Gates trial, just so we can see update. Yeah, it's not a trial because they've worded that as trial.
It's a deposition. He's given a deposition.
Yeah, that's it. It's given a. Can you see the pictures, folks? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So 3 questions Bill Gates could face as he testifies Congress on Epstein. And then Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft and one of the world's most prominent philanthropists, is being questioned by a congressional committee about his past association with late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. But you see, this is dated 10th of June, 2026. So obviously, I don't think that means there's any kind of imminent trial. However, I did have a dream about Bill Gates with all of these insects coming out of him. I'll put it at the end credits.
Well, that's interesting, Hogarth, because and there's also a completely separate civil lawsuit in the Netherlands involving COVID vaccines with him. It says the social media frequently describes as Bill Gates' trial. This is not a criminal prosecution, but he's definitely being has a lawsuit against that. So that would be interesting how you were talking about bugs, COVID. There you go.
Oh, of course. Yeah, because I'll put that dream, guys, video. Many of you have seen it. After this show is done, I'll put that at the end credits so you guys can see that, because maybe now this is what this dream was about. It tends to happen like a couple of months before something big kicks off. So in that case, then, and we'll do Shakespeare as well. Let's see, what is the energy around Bill Gates? Is he facing a demise? And if so, will that lead to the demise of others? Yeah. 1 card pull, Sulabh going first.
Oh, Aaron, the hairstylist, is calling Trump the nod father because he keeps nodding off. I love that.
Oh, Sulabh, you revealed your card too soon. It's after 3.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
All right, there we go. But you can see it then. All right. Elon. I mean,
and we usually don't look at them either. Yeah, just to give you a heads up, because that's the fun part. Like, oh, what did I get?
Gotcha.
Exactly. All right. So after 3, we already know Sulabh's card, but don't worry, he'll get it for next time. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so wow, Sulabh, how do you interpret your card vis-a-vis Bill Gates and things that may be happening legally to him in the future?
Well, I'd see the Queen of Pentacles as being a person of wealth, a person of power, which is basically what Bill Gates is. I don't think he's going to face the legal justice that he should for the vaccine stuff, the Epstein stuff. I think he's going to hold on to power behind the scenes somehow.
Okay, thank you. Thanks so much. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
With the Temperance card, one Tootsie in the water and one on land, I think it's about his legacy, and his legacy will be mixed. You know, there's good and interesting things that he did, and then there's the other side. So I see it as balancing up how people remember Bill Gates.
Wow. Okay, thanks so much. Oh yeah, we've got to do that, the soldiers. If we look here, I've got the 10 of Cups here, which is normally a card associated with happiness, success, but sometimes I refer to this as the card of too good to be true. I mean, look, I think the reality is, because of Bill Gates's power and influence, I think there's going to be a reluctance to kind of really throw the book at him, so to speak, because I just think he just knows where too many bodies are buried. He's too well connected, particularly in the elites and government and all these judges. Look, they're all at the same parties, folks. You know, attacking Bill Gates is kind of like attacking one of your own. And I think with that Queen of Pentacles, it's showing his security. But that's my thing. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, the card I got was imprisonment, and I thought, oh, he's not going to jail. He's got too much money, just like any of the other billionaires, right? So I had to throw some clarifiers. So I'm like, imprisonment in what? And then he is hot within the cult. That man is hot within the cult. And when Hogarth's got a happy family, it's because he's happy with the cult. The cult is very happy with this guy.
Of course.
Yep. So I thought that matches kind of what my cards have said. The imprisonment, he is completely and totally within it. And the thing about it is, with Bill Gates, is his money keeps everybody quiet. That's the bad part about it. His money keeps it.
Money protects.
Yep, protects. So that's what I got with him. It's like, I don't know what his future is, but that man is like a celebrity within the cult.
Wow.
So his reputation, possibly in the future, or if he has one, I don't know.
Wow. Fascinating. Wow, fascinating. Thanks so much for that. Yeah, and I think absolutely, yeah, that makes sense there. Let's just see here, just bring in some comments. So Rita said all those billionaires need to go out of our lives, thinking that they're controlling us. And someone says, wow, Sheila. Yep. So you touch people there with your reflections and insights. And what is this here? Oh, let's just see. Oh, anyway, let's just quickly move on, because there's so many questions to look at. First of all, though, let's get the Bard on Bill Gates. Yeah, so Sulabh, this will be a new thing for you. What I do is I read from this book here. It's called Shakespeare, The Bard's Guide to Abuses and Affronts. And I introduced this as a novelty thing because I wanted to find ways to say very rude things about these horrible people that we read on without being liable. Yeah. So what I do is, phone's ringing. I flip through the book and I get the guest, our special guest, to tell me where to stop. And that will be the Bard's opinion on that person. So because you're our special guest tonight, I'm going to flick through the book. You tell me where to stop, and that will be the Bard's opinion on Bill Gates.
Let's stop now.
Oh, 1 minute. That one we've had before. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is coming from, this is Henry VI, part 2. Yeah, it says here, pernicious bloodsucker of sleeping men.
Oh, ouch.
Interesting. And then it says here on the next page, Hamlet, it says, bloody, bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain.
Oh, that doesn't leave much out.
That's perfect.
That's bang on. Yeah, the bard. The bard has spoken yet again. All right, so thanks so much for that. Let's go to next question. We're going to do a question on BlackRock, and then question number 4, we need to talk about the sailors. Yeah, they're apparently sailors jumping off the ships. But this one, bit of a longer one. I'm going to say here, Amberwood, please in the future, if you could make it shorter, a bit more concise. I'm going to take a deep breath here and get through it as quickly as I can. Here we go. Hello, question. Hello again, wonderful guest. Financial brokers like BlackRock have been investing in municipals and power companies, even though it really looks like they brought them, but chose the wordage of investing. While not directly owning these municipals, they are part of the push for data centers. Currently, BlackRock is in talks with Google, trying to build one in a wetland in Hermantown, Minnesota. Wetland, yeah, but they need the water. These people are evil. Anyway, there has been widespread backlash in this region of the state. There is also talks of giving employees scripted messages when having town hall meetings with the public. I imagine this tactic is being used all over the US, yes, particularly with the politicians as well, with the hacking incidents that have happened to water municipals. Canada was hacked, some places in America were hacked. I can't help but wonder if they have a hand in this. What are the true intentions of these financial brokers for buying regional power companies and municipals? Is there anything they're trying to hide? Thanks so much. So Lena going first, 1 card pull. What is BlackRock and these companies up to buying up these infrastructure? Ooh.
All right. I'm going to move to film noir for this. Yeah. The interesting thing, though, isn't it, that the resistance to these data centers is growing and it crosses people's political divide.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Are we ready? After 3, Lena going first. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I knew it. Anyway.
What have I got? Oh, you ready? Thieves Highway.
Wow. Yeah. Anything to add to that, Lena, or do you feel the cards
really.
is enough?
I think it answers the question. They see it as just a new conduit highway, you know, to grab land and take money. Look at that. And
steal everything, steal people's data, identity, everything. Here you can see with my card here, and you can see I've drawn on the bikinis here. Again, it says it all. Devil card. Devil card. It is, their goal is ultimately demonic. What I put here, transhumanism is the goal. Yeah. They are anti-human. They want us filled with chips. They want us monitored 24/7. They don't want us to use our brain. They're evil. That's the motivation there for me. Sheila?
Well, I got the Ace of Cups, which talks about the, you know, emotions, and of course, water is emotions. They want all the water. They want the water. They need the water, and it has a lot to do with they don't care. I'm trying to figure out how they don't want all that water, but you know, not having clean water also affects their bodies as well. I'm trying to figure out how they are so disconnected with that. And it just dawned on me is they believe they have enough money to clean their own water and screw everybody else. Also, and also their money is very tempting to these people, because what is it that they've been doing to the United States? Keeping everybody low and poor. So money talks to about anybody who would like to be bumped up, and also available to their clean water.
I've got something to add to that, Sheila.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Sulabh, how do you interpret your card?
I've got the King of Wands. The Wands is more the card for ideas. So this is somebody who's ruled by an algorithm. I don't think these tech billionaires or the BlackRock people necessarily as evil as we think they are, I think they're actually just stupid and greedy, which the consequence of that, of course, is being evil. They're run by an algorithm that they can't control, and therefore they're trying to use that to control the rest of us.
Juicy.
That puts it in a nutshell. Yes.
Yeah, very juicy. And I've got something to add to your interpretation, Sheila, because you said, why are they taking all this water? Why are they doing all of this stuff? Surely it will damage them as well. Well, not if you're into transhumanism, because they are not interested in the human body.
Truth.
These are the people that want to what? Upload their consciousness to the cloud, and they're using all of these data centers, so they've got all of these gigawatts, so that their consciousness can then just be repeatedly transferred into a new bionic body, a new bionic body, a new bionic body. So for them, in their twisted ideology, they don't have to worry about their body, because Elon is going to put their consciousness in the cloud, and they're going to have a perfect Terminator style body anyway, which doesn't need to drink water. Do you see? That's where I think these people are coming from, and that's why we got the devil card. They are sick. But anyway,
what woman is gonna have these bionic babies? That's what I want to know.
Well, Handmaid's Tale. There'll be women, whether they agree to or not, who'll be
Right.
Indeed, they'll be growing them in
ends for this project.
They'll be growing them in bags anyway.
Yeah.
They'll be growing them in bags at this stage. All right, so let's move on to the next question. Let's just bring some people in as well. So Foggy says Bill Gates is void of human feeling. And then what's this here? And then Abby says, I didn't know anything about Gates' deposition. There's so much going on. You can't keep up with absolutely everything. People also have their own lives to lead. Be kind. Yeah, there's that. So that. And then Patricia said lots of pushback against Gates for buying up farmland. This is true. He's actually got a lot there. And someone said barred on Gates, which of course we did. And then someone says here, barred on time. Yeah, as well as tourists saying, oh boy, all right, let's, and then Sharon says, Shakespeare is our hero, indeed. So let's go now to question 4. Now, this is actually very worrying. 3 people asked this question. And by the way, at the moment, we have 2,387 of you joining us here live. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live. Please be sure as well to like and subscribe and share. Help this channel keep it growing. And of course, I can have more guests on. All right. So 3 people have asked about this. So I'm going to read out their questions. So we have Denise Ferguson, E. Holmes, and Francis have asked. I'll read them out and then we'll just pull cards. All right, starting with Denise Ferguson. I'm concerned about the 5,000 military members on board the USS Abraham Lincoln. Lack of food, ability to do laundry, and other inadequate living conditions have caused multiple sailors to attempt to jump overboard. Oh my God. Families are told deployment can be hard, but the crew has excellent access to counselors. Another carrier is being prepared to relieve with no time available. Will the crew be reunited with their families soon? And will there be investigations by the House if Democrats take majority in midterms? So there's that. E. Holmes says, it has been revealed that sailors aboard the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln have been attempting to jump off the ship and are self-harming in other ways. To say morale is low is an understatement. What mechanism will be activated to rescue these souls who are essentially trapped on board in overextended missions? And then here, Francis says, good afternoon, Hogarth, and she's calling from Puerto Rico. Guest from Puerto Rico, question today. If I was informed in social media that soldiers are jumping out of the USS Lincoln out of despair and desperation since the Navy, HEXF or anybody are providing no info regarding status and or when they are going to be replaced since they have been there for 9 months. Any hope that you can provide in regards to this? News broke my heart. Bless. So let's do a 1-card pull on this. What is going on with these soldiers? Like, why are they being tortured? Yeah, Sheila, go on.
I just want to clarify. There is no verified information that anybody has jumped off. That's verification there before we read. Also, there's roughly 5,000 soldiers that are on board, and they've been out there for 260 days, which is a long time for any soldiers to be on a ship, especially if you know anything about, the Navy or anything like that. So
260 days.
200,
so
yep.
In
That's
5
almost
more
a
days,
year.
it would be a year.
Yep. Yeah,
All
that they usually dock at least once or twice throughout their voyages, if not more. I mean,
This is
but
astonishing.
Hegseth is like, you guys stay out there, idiot.
Madness. All right, so let's do one card pull. What's going on with these people? What are their circumstances? And basically, will they be relieved? One card pull. I think it's me going first now on this one. All right. Oh, the madness of the world. All right. So after 3, me going first. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. All right. Okay, so here, what I've got here, I've got the 8 of, sorry if there's a bit of glare, let me put in this bit that's less bright in this corner. I've got the 8 of Cups, as you guys can see. Now, this is talking about leaving, abandonment. What this says to me is that I think a lot of these soldiers, basically, even obviously they can't physically leave the ship, but I think mentally, emotionally, and psychologically and spiritually, they've left. I think they have given up. I think they realize that this mission is dead in the water and that they are essentially being abused. We understand as well that they've been short of food and various different things. I don't know if they've been relieved since. I hope they have been. But I think a lot of them just want to abandon this mission. They want to give it up. I think they see the situation as hopeless. And I would think once they get back to US soil, assuming they do get back to US soil, I think a lot of them will just leave the army immediately. I think they are just done. Sheila?
I think I have public recognition. The reason why the soldiers are talking crazy like this is because this is not normal for a soldier to talk like this. This is almost like non-void. You do not give up your command or your stuff. So what they're doing is trying to get public recognition. So the public recognition does look like maybe they get some good news out of that, and that they do the pressure starts to build, and that they will be able to dock and get off their ship and do what they need to do. But I think that's what it is a lot of it was public recognition, which is good on them, but I hope they don't get in trouble for it.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Sulabh, how do you interpret your card?
5 of Pentacles, it's the card for financial loss. This is all about money from the US military and the government not wanting to waste too much money on defense. That's why they've been out at sea so long. It's also the card for injury. If you see this guy's got an injured foot, the feet in astrology would interpret as Pisces, which is also a water element connected to the Navy. Timing-wise, the sun goes into Pisces in March, and I'd interpret the 5 of Pentacles as being connected with Taurus. So sometime between March, April, and May is where there's going to be big news or some news uncovering what's really going on with this. I wouldn't be surprised if they're still out at sea for another, what would that be, 4 or 5 months from now. And then the scandal breaks. But it all has to do with money.
Wow. Thank you, Sulabh. Fantastic insights there. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, here we go. Confusion all round. Confusion about the mission, about what it was about originally. Confusion now. What is it now? You can imagine 5,000 people on a small area. The misinformation and the confusion just whirls constantly. It might be in the form of, we're getting off next week, or it's going to end on the 4th of September, or fake information going around, whizzing around. And I think it is doing their heads in the sense, it's like jail sentences America has many jail sentences that are open-ended, like 20 years to life, like depending on your good behavior. That contravenes human rights because prisoners can deal with a huge amount, and these guys are essentially prisoners on this ship, prisoners to what they signed up for. You can deal with it when you know there's an end, and you know when that end is. The human mind will deal with that. They don't know when it's going to end, and no one knows when it's going to end for them, and that's very damaging for the psyche.
Yeah. The way I interpret your card as well, Lena, is literally, I think they're going crazy. I think they're losing their minds. They're stir crazy. Yeah. Imagine being stuck on a ship for a year, not being fed. You don't know what's going on. You see an absolute lunatic in charge, and then, you know, then you've got the hedgehog there as well, who is just another completely crackers person. My goodness. Just want to say some thank yous. Thank you so much, Dragonfly Damsel. Thank you so much, Gay Freeman. Thank you. And then also as well, Foggy, gracious greetings to Sulabh Jane and welcome, she says. That's fabulous. Now, we're going to go. Now, this is, we're hopping in our esoteric aeroplane, and this time we're not actually technically going to Syria, but we're going to be talking about the Syrian leader. Now, this is going to be very interesting, and feel free to chime in on this, Sulabh. All right. So Trina says, Bashar Al-Assad has been issued a death sentence in absentia, which means he wasn't physically there. Will he remain safe and protected in Russia? Because allegedly that's where he is. Or will Putin or a government entity be willing to negotiate his return so the sentence could be carried out? Now, what I would add to that is Sulabh and I have been, because of course we're Vedic astrologers. So Sulabh, you know, we've been talking about Ketu, who I referred to as Snip Snip, is going through sidereal Leo, and I said all sorts of leaders are going to topple and fall. We've had Prince Andrew, or shall we say Andy Mountbatten, formerly known as Prince. He's lost his title. Many CEOs have actually fallen because of the Epstein files, not in America, but around the world. We've also, of course, we had Andy Burnham take over. Sir Keir Starmer lost his premiership. We've now got Farage, Count Binface, and all of that stuff. We've had a prince, that Saudi prince that died in a UK hotel. So we said people, figures of leadership would be either removed or sadly, maybe even potentially unalived. And now we have today on the eclipse this kind of effective death warrant out for Bashar Al-Assad. Sulabh, what do you want to add to that in terms of K2's transit through Leo, and what else could we see? And then we'll do a one-card pull.
Well, just coming back to Count Binface, Hogarth, last time we met, we talked about Binface being the ultimate Ketu character. It's a guy who has no head and he wears a bin over it as a replacement. If you think of a lot of these older sociopathic politicians, including Donald Trump today, they all exist from the head up. They're all Rahu characters, obsessed with themselves and their own image. They have no soul or no body, really. Binface is the ultimate Ketu counterbalance to the Rahu of Farage. Now, as far as Syria goes, or the politics over there, I think it's probably going to remain as a disaster for at least the next couple of years. So whether they execute their former leader or not, I don't think it's going to change what's happening on the ground for the people themselves. I think that's probably the bigger takeaway. These leaders, these bad leaders can come and go, but the people end up suffering still.
True. Yeah, true. So we need a global consciousness change, isn't it? And this, I think, is what is coming, particularly with Jupiter exalted. We're going back into that age of the French Revolution. Everyone's waking up because all of their material security has been ended. All right, so let's do a one-card pull then. So basically, will this be carried out? Will Bashar Al-Assad, will he receive the death sentence, or what is the energy around him and his future going forward? This is Sheila again from the start. One-card pull, Sheila to start. Let's go in. And we should see what the Bard thinks of Bashar Al-Assad. I don't think we've done that yet.
No.
Bashar Al-Assad, what's going on with it, Bashar Al-Assad?
I just want to say thank you, Lorna Villa 8, I think. Very nice. Thank you.
And thanks for Patricia for putting the questions up. You do a great job.
Oh, yeah, she does.
You did a great job, Patricia.
She's a
Thanks
rock
so much.
star.
Oh, yeah. All right, are we ready? After 3, 1, 2, 3, Bashar Al-Assad. All right, what do you have, Sheila?
Oh. Is it famous for poisoning people?
No, what does it say? What does it say?
Poison. Okay, so.
What does it say? Chronic something. What does it say?
It says poison, and it says toxic, unhealthy behaviors people. So toxic. So, but I was just thinking, poison. Isn't that what Putin's famous for? Is for poisoning people? But
yeah.
When you were first talking about the poison and stuff like that, my first thought was running through my head is Putin going, "What will you give me for him?" You know what I mean? He's all like, "What you got over there? You want me to kill him for you? You want me to, you know what I mean? What do you want?" But poison is like he's a person who has already his death sentence is already there. So that's what I got.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's finished. Sulabh, how do you interpret your card?
Justice reversed, I'd interpret as injustice. But I'm not sure if this is injustice to Al-Assad. Sorry, what was his name? Bashar, right?
It's
Bashar Al-Assad. Yeah.
Okay, let's call him Bashir. I'm not sure if this is injustice to Bashir or if this is injustice to the Syrian people. The energy is still neutral. Like, it's not going to change anything if he faces justice or even if he doesn't face it.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're still suffering, aren't they? Thank you so much, Sulabh. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, Putin is very preoccupied, as we speak, with clinging on himself. I think he could well be the next major one to go. He hasn't got the, this is Putin I'm talking about, he doesn't care what happens to Assad, like it was fun. This is now some years ago. Yes, come to Moscow. I think this is him saying to Assad, up to you, why don't you go to Zurich? I can't promise to protect you, whatever. I think Assad might leave after this fatwa has been laid down. He might leave himself, but he will then spend his life on the run, And the poison could come in anywhere. Yeah.
Because we know, as you know, Putinshka is the master of poisons, fast-acting ones and slow-acting ones as well. Yeah. He'll be like, I'm just thinking, he'll be like, please have some tea before you go.
They're the best.
Please, here, from my mother's teapot, here, have some tea, please. But, outside, before you go, And then it's
Comically speaking, didn't Al-Assad try and poison or use chemical attacks on some of his own people?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect karma for that.
Oh,
yeah. No, he's very comfortable with it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So if we look here, in my card, I've got the Hierophant. Now, this is really interesting. Hierophant, of course, normally talks about government traditions, the established norms, protocols, and that kind of stuff. So here, of course, Al-Assad, let me just make sure, I keep forgetting his name. We know he is the former leader of Syria. He used to be the government, yeah? But also as well, this is a proclamation that has come from the new government that want him gone. But I also feel that this is Putinshka as well, because he is under the protection of the Russian government. However, with Lena's card, the walking away, you know what? I think it's the case. Putinshka has got bigger fish to fry.
Yes.
And I just think he's just like, part of me is just like, biatch, I'm done with you. You and your demanding wife and your family, whatever. I don't care if you stay here or not. And I might just give you a parting gift, a little bit of Novichok on the door.
Some little chocolates for the plane.
Exactly, some chocolates for the plane. He won't throw him out a window because he's a little bit bored with that. But, you know, there could be a little bit of a toxic present, shall we say, a little goodbye kiss when he goes out the front door. So I don't think it's looking good for Al-Assad. But I think, just like Sulabh says, whether he's alive or not, the people of Syria, they're not going to have their situation resolved immediately. It's too broken down. But I hope they will, and it would be some kind of karmic justice for them at the least. All right, are we ready for the next question, folks?
Yes.
It's 9 minutes. The time is going so quickly. I just want to say a quick thank you here. Thank you, Lorna. Much appreciated. Okay, now we're getting into the Trumpy swamp waters. Yeah. You know, we get called in there each week and we have to take our bleach and our gloves and our binoculars. But anyway, here we go. So question number 6, this is an interesting one. So it's coming from Terry Campbell, and she says, Trump took a special plane back from Turkey, sneaking out the catering door. How does the press feel about Trumpy throwing them under the bus and knowing the plane was a target? Now, is this becoming a theme? Didn't Trump do this before, where he left behind another plane or something like that, which was then flown back to the States and what have you? But
this is the big one because it's the prize that he was given by Qatar, right?
Yeah, say the question because there's, I think there's two.
Or is there another one?
I think this is two different incidences. He got a whole bunch of threats. And so instead of them, they try to sneak him out and they put him in a catering cart and then I think transferred him to another plane just to get him home safely. I think this is two different. So read the question again. Yeah. The plane he left overseas is a totally different situation to with this one that just happened, where he got a whole bunch of threats. From what I understand, somebody in the comments will correct me, I'm sure. But from what I understand, they hid him in a catering cart, popped him onto another plane and got him out of there to avert the threat. It must have been serious enough to stuff him into a catering cart. Can you imagine? But yeah.
Interesting.
So I think
so 2 points being said, this is just one event, but it just came out. And then someone says here, this is when he left Turkey. And then Manwich said, Don Snorlone should skip the ballroom and just get a catering cart. So, okay, so we know that there was the plane that he left behind, which was then flown back to America. So we can kind of discount that. Let's read on this threat. Yeah, let's read on this.
Wait, did that plane get flown back to America? Has that been confirmed?
It did, yeah. I found when we read on it on the show, I found out later that that plane that was left was then flown back. So this is a completely new situation. So it's to do with basically Trump being smuggled out in some kind of catering cart. I'm amazed the wheels were able to stay on the cart itself. And let's just see, what's the energy around that? What's the energy around these threats? Is Duck Larange's life in danger internationally from these threats? And it will be Sulabh going first this time. Yeah.
Oh, and in the comments, Sharon Donnelly, who's a regular on our show, Innocent Potato, when my brother was on the submarine, they didn't have adequate sleeping quarters and he often slept on top of the torpedoes.
Wow.
This is with the US Navy.
Of course. Of course.
On top of the torpedo. Oh my God.
Okay, can you repeat the question one more time, please? I'm so sorry. I'm still shuffling.
All right. So Trump took a special plane back from Turkey, sneaking out their catering door. How does the press feel about Trumpy throwing them under the bus and knowing the plane was a target? But I've modulated that question. I said, what are the threats facing Duck Larange? Are these really true and valid? And Sulabh's going first. So after 3. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, maybe.
Ooh. All right. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Oh, it's me, is it?
Oh, sorry. It's Sulabh going first. Sorry, Sulabh, you're going first.
Well, the Hermit reversed is a card of being quiet, being hidden, being tucked away. So that would make perfect sense for what Trump's going through right now. I'd also look at it as a Ketu type of card, which is assassination. So yes, it's a credible threat. Obviously, it didn't happen, but I think there's going to be another attempt on his life in about when Sun enters Virgo. So 22nd August into the 22nd of September, we'll hear news about another attempt.
Oh, now why would that be the case when the Sun enters Virgo, Sulabh? How does that configure with Trump's chart? Because he is a Leo rising. Is it because it's the second house and that can be a death-inflicting house, or what's your rationale there?
Well, Ketu also rules the stomach because it's from the head down. So the stomach I'd interpret as being ruled by Virgo. So when Sun enters Virgo, which is 22nd August onwards, there should be some bad news, or at least news of an attempt on Trump.
Or maybe something going on with his stomach. Oh, fascinating. Okay. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Da-da! We've got the Wheel of Fortune here. And no doubt, I mean, any world leader is going to attract some sort of, negative threat. But he's been a long time in the works now. And I think there's probably a queue of people who would like to, sort of, seriously, all jokes aside. But here, this element, what happens is inevitable to some extent. But this is boy who cried wolf stuff, because particularly we all remember the ear episode, and many of us don't think that was a legitimate assassination attempt. He's got to watch it now because the war in Iran, and people have long memories in the Middle East. So he is, even if he got voted out in 2028, if he was still alive, God forbid, or whatever, this is his perennial state now. He will be under threat every day and every night in a way that can't be swept aside with a MAGA rally. So that he's chosen that destiny. A bit like Putin is, having food tasters and things. Paranoid state.
Fascinating. Thank you. I've got the Four of Cups. So in terms of like, is there assassination attempts against Trump? It's kind of like, well, they're mulling it up. Yeah. People are wondering, how do we do it? They're not liking the options on the table because, of course, it's very difficult to access Trump and stuff. And look, what I would say is this. I'm not wishing for the death of anyone and all of that kind of stuff, but I am not going to take an attempt on Trump's life seriously until there is no life in Iran. Then I will take the attempt seriously, because there have been so many faux cooked up attempts. It's just, I don't think there's any credibility around that until it actually happens. But look, what this says to me is people are mulling it up. They're not liking the options on the table. They're thinking like, is it going to be poison? Is it going to be shoot him in the whatever? Shall we blow up his plane? But here, there could be something imaginative, something not thought of. I mean, look, if I was going to do it, I would have Melania make a special tea for her husband, so he can get to sleep. That's how I would do it. But anyway, for entertainment purposes only, Sheila.
Well, my card kind of says it all.
Yeah.
He has a few swords in his back, is what this card says. Now, here's something that's very interesting to me. Iran, of course, I don't know if everybody's been watching the Lego things that they have been putting out, the little movies, the Lego movies. I don't know what they're called exactly, but I've been kind of watching them. And I find it incredibly fascinating that Iran is not saying, America, you're in trouble. They are literally pointing to one man. Yeah. And that is kind of helps us a little, but he is really a serious, and they go all in. I get a little blushed and a little embarrassed on what they're doing and how they're doing it with those Lego things, to be honest with you. I don't like Trump at all, but I almost kind of have that feeling of how dare you go after our president like that? But we all know why. But I do think that I think he gets more threats than we even know about. And I'm pretty sure that all of their focus is trying to keep that man safe. Now, instead of doing what they really, really want to do, their focus is on keeping him safe, because they may fail. And
also, don't forget, America took out the head of Iran.
Yes, exactly.
So imagine how Iranians feel, even if they hate that head too, and inviting them to peace talks and killing them on the way back. Disgusting behavior. International courts will be feasting on this.
Yeah,
absolutely. What we'll do is the hour has gone so quickly, so we're going to do a very, very quick read. We have 2,959 of you here right now. I just want to read it as a little kind of, you've got to have a little novelty question in there. And someone says here, Trina says, will the White House become a museum as a warning and reminder to the people of the perils of government with no checks or balances, being utterly self-serving and riding roughshod over the Constitution? Denise replied to her and said, that's so interesting you asked that question. When Trump first demolished the East Wing, I had an intuitive download the White House would eventually become a museum. One card for Lena going first, super quick. Will the White House become a museum? super quick, so we don't go too over.
Yeah.
Oh, Count Binface, I hope you win.
Goodness me.
Museum. All right, after 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, judgment coming down. I think people will have to make a decision about this. I think there's a very good chance. I haven't thought about this before, but I was thinking the other day, 2028, hopefully a new president thing. Why would you want to live in that? It looks like a Las Vegas brothel with the dysfunctional pool and the demolition site on the side. I mean, I think it's sort of going that way itself.
Yeah.
That it would be better to be a museum.
Wow, fascinating question, isn't it?
But then I'm not American, so I'm not part of the voting bloc. But that's what I get from this.
Fascinating. Thank you so much, Lena. I get the 8 of Wands, which is talking about things moving at pace, moving at speed, things flying through the air. It's interesting. Didn't Trump say that he's going to have drone attack things on the roof of the White House? What this says to me is, I think the reputation of the White House is it's becoming so degraded. By 2028, it could well be the case that people just like, enough, it needs to be somewhere else. So interesting question, but I think it's accelerating in not a good way. Sheila?
Thank you for the question, because it literally sent my whole brain down a whole visual here. And my card is the Queen of Pentacles, which represents that, business like coming around, that grounding of that building. They all know that this building is now something different. It has been changed. It has been, as we tainted, poisoned, whatever it is. And I just literally had a huge vision of them saying, set this aside, we'll deal with this later, let's build a new White House, let's do a fresh start, let's do something different, let's let's focus on positive stuff, and let's let this portion be a lesson to the United States. It just literally just all pummeled in. Thank you for that question. I loved the visual I just got. Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah,
I also just wanted to mention one more thing. In the comments I've been watching, there's been a troll that has been using my name in vain. Don't worry about them. My feelings are not hurt. I am, they are bored, and I'm just glad that they're here, because they get an experience and some insight into their life, whether they liked it or not.
And we just ignore them. Indeed. Sulabh, you're closing the show. What card do you have?
The Ace of Pentacles. Now, as you were asking that question, Hoagie, my first thought as a non-American is that the White House is actually already a museum. You can go through tours over there already. But connecting your question to Lena's card, the Judgment, I think they're going to go through a rebirth of what the White House represents. And this is going to crystallize probably the next step in America's democracy. I'm actually very optimistic about America's future. I think it's going to be incredible, at least for the next 100 years, if they can learn from the lessons of Trump and all the nonsense that he's up to.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Wow. And there's support for Sheila in the comments there. Right, we have run over. Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Sulabh. We'll have to have you on before for giving your unique insights. Thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much, Lena. We are over. It always goes in a flash. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting the channel, for your questions, for your love, for your support. Like and subscribe, share, hype, and all that jazz. Oh, was that?
Who's on next week?
Oh, it's the usual lineup.
It's the OGs?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, the OGs. All right.
Lovely to meet you, Sulabh.
Yes.
Nice to meet you guys. Thanks for having me.
A pleasure. All right, folks, we're going to have to leave it there. Otherwise, we'll run over too far. And we will see you all in the future. Thanks so much, Sulabh. Thanks so much, Sheila. Thanks so much, Lena. Bye. Mwah! Big love for now and see you soon. Cheers.
Wow.
Bye-bye.